Deep inside a dark tree hollow hidden high above the rainforest floor, tiny Kira entered the world during a violent tropical storm that shook the jungle through the endless night. Bright red, completely hairless, and barely strong enough to move, newborn Kira squirmed weakly against the rough wood, searching desperately for warmth and protection. Heavy rain crashed outside the hollow while soft chirping cries echoed from the fragile newborn resting beneath the loving shadow of her mother. Blind and helpless, tiny Kira dragged her small trembling body toward the comforting scent of milk hidden within the thick golden fur surrounding her. The devoted mother gently cleaned Kira's delicate pink skin with careful licks before wrapping her long tail protectively around the fragile newborn. Thunder boomed violently across the rainforest canopy, yet inside the hollow little Kira remained safe and warm beneath the steady heartbeat of her mother. As the endless nights passed, soft golden fuzz slowly began covering Kira's tiny body while strength gradually replaced weakness inside the growing infant. One quiet morning, young Kira finally opened large dark eyes for the first time and stared curiously into the mysterious rainforest world surrounding the hollow. The playful young Kinkajou stretched clumsily across the nest and eagerly tasted sweet wild fruit brought lovingly by the mother each night. Sticky fig juice covered Kira's tiny snout while the patient mother carefully cleaned the playful cub with gentle affection beneath warm morning sunlight. Soon curious Kira practiced climbing the hollow walls, gripping roots tightly with sharp claws and learning to control her strong prehensile tail. Every distant jungle sound filled Kira with endless curiosity. But the mother always kept the growing infant safely hidden deep within the shadows of the tree. Then one terrible night, a massive Tyra silently climbed toward the hollow after catching the scent of vulnerable young Kira hidden inside. The dangerous predator crept steadily closer through the branches while unaware little Kira slept peacefully inside the darkness. Suddenly the mother awoke and sensed danger just as the giant shadow of the Tyra covered the entrance of the hollow completely. Terrified young Kira shrank deep into the corner while the aggressive predator forced its snarling face toward the vulnerable infant hidden inside. Without hesitation, the fearless mother blocked the entrance with her body and unleashed powerful roars directly at the invading predator. The enraged Tyra lunged forward viciously, but the protective mother fought savagely with claws, teeth, and relentless fury to defend little Kira. The violent struggle shook the branches while frightened Kira pressed tightly against the wood, listening helplessly to the brutal battle outside the nest. With one devastating strike, the mother smashed the predator across the face and then bit fiercely into the stunned Tyra, forcing it away from the hollow. Defeated and terrified, the massive predator finally retreated down the tree while exhausted mother Kinkajou stood guard, breathing heavily beside the entrance. Safe once again, trembling little Kira crawled slowly back toward the brave mother and disappeared beneath the comforting warmth of her protective tail. Time passed across the endless rainforest nights, and young Kira slowly transformed into a confident juvenile exploring the moonlit canopy with growing courage. Golden moonlight illuminated Kira's beautiful fur while the agile young climber swung gracefully between vines high above the dark forest floor. Kira mastered balancing upside down using only the powerful tail while reaching for ripe tropical fruits hidden among the branches. The growing Kinkajou leapt fearlessly between trees, chased giant moths through the night air, and explored the rainforest canopy with endless excitement. Sweet nectar dripped from giant jungle flowers while Kira rested peacefully upon sturdy branches beneath the glowing tropical moon. But hidden among the shadows, a deadly ocelot silently watched the resting young Kira and prepared for a lethal attack. The powerful predator crouched low upon the branch while glowing eyes locked directly onto unsuspecting Kira beneath the moonlight. One loud crack of a twig shattered the silence, and frightened Kira spun around just as the enormous ocelot launched viciously through the air. Reacting instantly, Kira dropped from the branch and escaped into a chaotic canopy chase across vines, leaves, and towering jungle trees. The relentless ocelot crashed through branches only inches behind while terrified Kira swung desperately through the rainforest darkness searching for safety. Edge of a branch, Kira turned helplessly toward the approaching predator moments before disaster struck. Then from above the canopy, the fearless mother Kinkajou dropped violently onto the ocelot and launched into a brutal mid-air battle to save Kira. The jungle shook with violent snarls while the mother bit fiercely into the predator's neck until the defeated ocelot finally retreated into the darkness. Safe once again, shaken but unharmed, Kira followed the protective mother back toward the deep hollow hidden within the ancient rainforest. Years passed beneath endless tropical skies, and little Kira transformed into a fully grown adult Kinkajou, confidently navigating the highest canopy alone. Adult Kira moved silently through dense leaves, searching for ripe figs and sweet nectar while moonlight shimmered across the golden fur. But high above the canopy, a giant harpy eagle suddenly spotted Kira and folded enormous wings for a deadly silent dive from the sky. The terrifying shadow swept across the branches while Kira looked upward in pure horror moments before the eagle crashed violently into the canopy. Massive talons clamped tightly around Kira's body and lifted the struggling Kinkajou high above the rainforest in a desperate fight for survival. Dangling helplessly in the air, Kira whipped the muscular tail around the eagle's leg and sank sharp fangs deeply into the predator's claw. The giant eagle screamed violently in pain and loosened its grip for one critical moment that changed everything. Seizing the opportunity instantly, brave Kira twisted free from the talons and plunged rapidly toward the rainforest below. Falling through the jungle air at terrifying speed, Kira stretched desperately outward and caught a thick vine just before crashing into the forest floor. Panting heavily after escaping death itself, adult Kira disappeared safely into a narrow rock crevice while the furious eagle circled helplessly above the canopy. After a long silence, Kira stepped bravely back into the sunlight and stood proudly upon a magnificent branch overlooking the endless rainforest kingdom below. The tiny newborn who once trembled helplessly inside a dark tree hollow had become a fearless master of the nighttime canopy, surviving against impossible dangers hidden within the wild. Bathed in golden jungle sunlight with endless rainforest stretching beyond the horizon, adult Kira gazed proudly across the wilderness, conquered through courage, resilience, and the unstoppable instinct to survive.